Good evening, everyone. This is Rooftop Sports back for some more Sonics basketball. And I'm just going to go straight to the point because I'm really tired, had a long day, and I just want to get some sleep. So let's just go straight to 1999. All right. So here it is. And I am going to be playing against this. It's going to be the Seattle SuperSonics against the Washington Wizards. And boy, the Sonics are on their losing ways, 15 and 33, 2 and 8 in their last 10, while the Washington Wizards are 25 and 20. However, I'm going to change things around. So here's the thing. And because no one really knows, no one's probably nobody's on the show watching this anyway. But for my Special Olympics basketball team, we are in the regionals. And actually, I have been appointed as head coach, interim head coach, because my head coach is actually on vacation, understandably so. So he's leaving it to me and my other assistant coach to take the reins. So I'm going to base my lineup based on the skill set of the players that I do have. And I'm going to try to do simulation and more realistic substitution rotation. So I got Jamie Watson. I'm gonna bench him for the day. I think Ruben Patterson, I'm okay with him. I want Joe Stevens like that. No, you know what? I'll just leave it like this. No. Like that, yeah. I'll have Rodman be the small forward this time. More like power forward. Yeah, something like that. I'll have McCoy be the starting center. Starting power forward. I'll have Teron Lue be starting point guard. I think I'm going to give Watson a day off. And yep, that's how it's going to be. And my center. Oh, yeah. Who's my center going to be in the first place? Oh, yeah. I don't really. Okay, I'll just do this one. Alton Lister. Gonna make it really weird. At least just for this game. Ooh. I can be playing up to 3 games. Vancouver, Minnesota, and the Lakers. Let's see how I do with all these substitutions. I'm going to try to simulate the game as best as I can. Shammond Williams will get the start. It'll be a much more unconventional kind of starting lineup. Jerome James at center. And there we go. Here's Shammond Williams. Here's Stevens for 3. And he hits that 3-pointer, and the Sonics get on the board. And it's 3-0. And they take a quick shot. I'm gonna do it just for this game. And now here's Shammond Williams. He gets the steal. And now here is Shammond Williams to Stevens with the dunk. And now the Sonics are up 5-0. Dennis Rodman's actually going to be playing off the bench. Now here's Mitch Richmond. Jelani McCoy is getting a start. And now here's Rod Strickland, and oh my goodness, the defense was completely off. Now here's Shammond Williams. And here's Ruben Patterson. Gets it out to Shammond Williams for 3. And rebound Jerome James. And he gets it in there. And now it's 7-2 Seattle. Here's Rod Strickland. Now here's Joe Stevens. Oh, fouled by Patterson. Now here's Thorpe. That's Otis Thorpe. And now out of bounds, still Wizards basketball. So I'm actually going to try to win this game. I know I'm all about the tanking, but because of my own personal agenda, I'm actually going to win this game. Now here's Rod Strickland, and he gets it in there. Interior defense is not looking good. Now here's Shammond Williams. He's going to get that pick from Jerome James, but he gets it to Stevens for 3. Joe Stevens from downtown. He is now 8 points on 2 for 2 of shooting. Now here's Juwan Howard. Here's Ben Wallace. And good defense by Seattle. And now here's Joe Stevens with a dunk. And Joe Stevens with 10 points already. He is leading the way. And now it's a steal by McCoy. And now here's Williams with the jam. And now it's 14-4 Seattle. And now the Sonics are really coming out. Here's Jelani McCoy, and that is fouled by Williams. Jamie Watson might actually not even play today, strangely. Now here's Rod Strickland. And that's rebound Stevens. Now here's Shammond Williams to Jelani McCoy. And that's going to be a steal by Washington. Now here comes Mitch Richmond. And he gets in there for the dunk. Mitch Richmond, who was traded to Washington from Sacramento for Chris Webber. Now here's Jerome James. And he gets it in there. They're now 7 of 8 on the field goals. Here's Richmond. He gets it in there. So it's 16-8. And Stevens gets it to Jelani McCoy. Go over Ben Wallace, and he gets it in there. Jelani McCoy getting the start as power forward over Dennis Rodman. And timeout has been called. Now here's Otis Thorpe. And now here's Rod Strickland. He gets it in there. It's going to be just an 8-point game. Now here's Shammond Williams again. Does the dribble. Goes for the 3. And that's going to be rebounded. Now here's Ruben Patterson. He is waiting for Strickland. And he gets it in anyway. Now here's Jerome James passing it in to Shammond Williams. Who's he going to get it to? Out of bounds, Sonics basketball. It's into Jerome James. Screened by McCoy. And he should be getting it in there. He gets his own rebound. And he is fouled, but he will go to the line. Misses the free throw. And misses again. And here's Ben Wallace with the dunk. Now it's 18-14. Here's Ruben Patterson. Over to Jelani McCoy. Stolen by Ben Wallace. You should probably get it to Joe Stevens more. And Strickland with the basket. They were off to a really good start, and now the Wizards are coming back. Now here's Jerome James. And blocked by Ben Wallace, and he has been, of course, a defensive force. Now here is Williams, or Mitch Richmond again. The Sonics are having a little bit of trouble. Here's Jelani McCoy. Goes for the jumper. And he makes it. Jelani McCoy can actually shoot. Now 20-18. Now here's a floater. Ben Wallace misses it from point blank. Rebound, Ruben Patterson. Now here's Joe Stevens to Jerome James, and he gets it in there. 22-18 Seattle. And nice defense by Ruben Patterson. And seconds are going down. Here's Strickland, heavily defended, and that's going to be an air ball, 24-second violation. Stevens for three, and he misses. It's Anstey who has it. Now here's Tracy Murray. Gets his own rebound, but he misses. And now here's Joe Stevens. Jerome James has 2 rebounds. And now here's Ruben Patterson. He gets it in there, 24-18. And Cheney is fouled by Ruben Patterson. He's kind of in foul trouble at the moment. I think they're going to put in Sean Resprit. Now here's Whitney with the 3-pointer. And I think they got to take out Ruben Patterson eventually, who is in foul trouble. And here's Jerome James. No, he loses it. And now here is Whitney. And he gets the stuff. Here's Stevens for 3. And Whitney with a jumper. And he makes it. And now it's going to be Wizards take the lead. Less than a minute to go. And now is Williams for 3. No, he misses it from point blank. Now here's Anstey, and he makes it himself. Now here's Williams. And personal foul. I'm going to get it into Sean Resprit. Wide open for 3. He makes it. Sean Resprit now ties the game. Fouled by Williams. And he will go to the line. Teron Lou's going to come on in. Lou for 3. Misses. Now here is Jeff McGinnis. And he is fouled. And makes the free throw. Jamie Watson's now going to check in from off the bench. Free throw's been made. The lanky Jamie Watson. And now he's going to go for Resprit for 3. No! And he misses. All right. Let's do this. 27-31. And it's going to be an offensive foul. I wonder who drew that offensive foul. Now here's Jamie Watson. Has the clear. And now nice pass to Alton Lister. And that's what he does best, is making those passes. And nice block by Resprit and rebound Rodman. And now here is Lewis to Resprit. And he makes the shot. And 3-pointers missed, but and Rodman gets that rebound. Now here is Rashard Lewis. He misses. Here's Watson. Now here's Tracy Murray for 3. Alton Lister with the rebound. And here's Watson. Gets it to Lewis. And he is fouled, and he is going to go to the line. Lewis makes the shot, the free throw. He makes it again. Now a 3-pointer. He makes it. And it's a steal by McLeod. And he's going to go in all the way. He misses. And Resprit with the rebound. And now here's Alton Lister. And now here's Watson. And now here's Resprit for 3. Sean Resprit from downtown. Here's McLeod with a jumper. And Rashard Lewis with the rebound. And here comes Jamie Watson. Gets it to Resprit. Lewis for 3. He makes it. And the Sonics have extended their lead. And Juwan Howard is fouled. He's going to go to the line. Here's Lewis. Now here's Resprit for 3. And rebound Ben Wallace. And here's Watson. He's back immediately. Oh, no. He lost it. Now here's Ben. I've got Watson to Lister. And he's going to go for it. And he does. Alton Lister gets it in there. Now here's Mitch Richmond. Now here's Howard, and he's blocked by Lister. Now here's Jamie Watson. He's going to try to go in all the way. And he makes it himself. It's now 43-39 Seattle. Here's Ben Wallace, and he gets that lay-in. Now here's Sean Resprit. Here's Rodman. Watson for 3. Nope. And that's a rebound. Lewis for 3. And Ben Wallace with the rebound. He has 4 rebounds. Sonics are going to have to get their starters back on. Williams for 3. He makes it. Jamon Williams from downtown. And timeout has been called. There's Jawan Howard. Now here's Otis Thorpe. And goaltending by Joe Stevens. Here's Shamon Williams. Gets it to Patterson. Gets it out to Stevens. Nice fake and a 3-pointer. And he misses it. Strickland is going to keep moving. And rebound Joe Stevens again. Now here's Jerome James. Doesn't really have anyone to work with. Now here's Williams with a jumper. He makes it. Shamon Williams has been one of the scorers. Stevens is he's the leading scorer. Is now 48-45. Now Jerome James is going to get that rebound off that miss. Williams for 3. Yeah, he just can't make the spot up 3-pointers. There's Mitch Richmond. Jawan Howard. He is wide open. Now here is Howard. He misses. And now here comes Ruben Patterson. Now here is McCoy. Loses Ben Wallace. And he makes the fadeaway. McCoy now has 6 points. And fouled has been, or it's just a kickball violation. Now here's Ben Wallace to Jawan Howard. Here's Strickland. And McCoy with the rebound. Needs some more screens. Gets himself out of it. Now here's McCoy going up on Ben Wallace. He is fouled. And he is going to go to the line. Nice way to draw a foul. Sonics are 15-33. One of the worst teams in the NBA. The second worst team. McCoy gets that free throw. And makes the free throw again. There's Joe Stevens. And that's a steal by Ben Wallace. And nice passes. There's Patterson for 3. Ruben Patterson from downtown. And that's a jumper by Chris Whitney. 38 seconds left. And now it's a turnover. Now here's Tracy Murray. He's trying to take it in all the way. And McCoy with another rebound. I think they may hold it to the last shot. McCoy sets that screen. And only 10 seconds left. Here's Stevens for 3. Stevens has extended that lead to 9. And it's only 3 seconds left. Here's Richmond going for 3. And he misses. And that is going to be the half, as the Sonics now have taken that 9-point lead. They are really stepping up. I'm really hoping my basketball team plays that way too. I think they're going to go with their starters. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's going to be a steal by Williams. And here comes Jelani McCoy with the dunk. Jelani McCoy now has 10 points. It is now 60-49 Seattle. And here's Strickland. He is fouled. He's going to go to the line. And he makes it. Let's try another one. And Jerome James with the rebound. Now here's Joe Stevens to Ruben Patterson. Right over to Jerome James with the dunk. Jerome James with 8 points. Sonics now have a 12-point lead. Now here's Howard. Richmond, he is blocked by McCoy. I'm sorry, by Patterson. And now here is Jerome James. And he's able to get it in there. It is now a 14-point lead. And blocked by Stevens. He gets another block. And can he get the alley-oop in there? Here's the alley-oop attempt. Nope. Here's Patterson, gets it to McCoy with the jumper. Nope, not this time. Is now 64-50. And they get that basket in there. I think after this game, I'm going to put it back to normal. And here's McCoy. He misses it. Here's Rod Strickland. He is fouled by Stevens. Ruined the Jerome James block. And now he will go at the line, shooting 2 free throws. And he makes it. He makes it again. Here's Joe Stevens to McCoy. Gonna try to post up. Gets it to Jerome James. He was wide open. Nice pass by McCoy. Unselfish teamwork. Both big men have double figures, and timeout has been called. It's now 66-54. Here's Juwan Howard. And then Howard, he tries to get it in there. 2 free throws to be made. Another free throw made. Now here comes Jerome James. Patterson with the jumper. He barely misses. Now here comes Rod Strickland. Blocked by Stevens. 3 blocks today. And now another foul. And now Shamon Williams is now in foul trouble. He has got to get out of there. I don't think he'll be playing for a while because he is in foul trouble. Watson is now in. And he makes it. And now it's Sonics basketball still. Here's Jerome. Gets it to Jerome James. And he misses it just barely. And now it's 66-58. Now here's Rod Strickland. And blocked. Ben Wallace gets blocked. But they somehow get it in anyway. It is now just a 6-point game for Seattle. And now Stevens for 3. James with the rebound. And he gets fouled and he will go to the line. He misses the free throw. Now they're going to get the rest of their bench players out. Now there's a 3-pointer and misses. Jelani McCoy now has 10 points, 6 rebounds, and fouled. And Watson's going to go to the line and misses that free throw. They're going to bring their bench players in. He misses it. Here's Cheney. And blocked by Alton Lister. Now here's Resprit. And gets it to Watson. Here's Resprit for 3. He was way off from downtown. Now here's McLeod. Goes for the shot. And somehow he made it over Rodman. It is now 66-62. Resprit for 3. He misses again. I don't think he'll be playing for the rest of the fourth quarter. Now here's McLeod, and he makes it. Resprit trying again for 3. Sean Resprit with 11 points. He's now 3 for 6 from downtown. And a steal by Watson. And he's going to take it in all the way himself. Watson was actually a former slam dunk contestant. Now here's Anstey. There's Strickland to Cheney with the jumper. Here's Watson. He takes it up. And here's Resprit trying again for 3. He makes it again. Sean Resprit is absolutely on fire. Now less than 2 minutes left in this game, and that's going to be a timeout called. Here's Strickland. Goes to Richmond, who makes it. And the Wizards are keeping it close. Here comes Watson to Rashard Lewis. And here's Rodman. Goes against Ben Wallace, and he misses it. Wallace has 7 rebounds in this game, 2 steals. Probably has a block at this point. Juwan Howard. And Ben Wallace with rebound. He's fouled by Lewis. And Wallace will take the free throw and misses. And he makes it. Now here's Watson over to Lister. He's going to try to get it in there. He misses. Now 74-69. Here's Juwan Howard. He makes the jumper himself to get the Sonics close, or get it close against the Sonics. Sonics have been shooting very well. Now Respert way deep from downtown, and he misses. Horrible miss by Sean Respert. Richmond for 3. Respert with the rebound. And now it's a minute left in this quarter. Now here's Rashard Lewis. And he runs out of bounds. And now it's Wizards basketball. Now 74-71. And now stolen by Respert. Nice pass by Respert to Watson with the dunk. And now it's 76-71. Watson now has 6 points. And now a 3-pointer. And he makes it. It is now just a 2-point game. Now here's Watson's going to try to make some moves. Gets it, try to get it to Alton Lister. And now it's going to be another turnover. And now here's Chaney. And he makes it himself. Here's Rodman. Tries to... Oh, he gets it in there. To give the Sonics the lead. Now here's Mitch Richmond. Goes for the jumper. And that's going to be the end of the quarter. All right, who can go into the fourth quarter? All right, it's going to be Respert, Joe Stevens, Jerome James, definitely McCoy. Rodman not doing that much. I think I'm going to try to get Rodman some opportunities. I don't know. But Joe Stevens, Ruben Patterson. All right, gonna put in Shammond Williams. He is due to go back. Actually, I'm gonna keep in Watson. I don't want to get into foul trouble. Respert, Joe Stevens, Rodman. Get some defense back in there. And Jerome James. Wait, why can't I pass? All right, yeah, I did call a timeout. I didn't want to get into a violation. Now here's Jamie Watson. Stevens for 3 and misses. Now Rodman with the steal. He's going to try to go not all the way. It's going to be fouled. But he will go to the line. And he misses. He makes the free throw. Now my game is getting all laggy. And blocked. Now here comes Jamie Watson to Patterson. Gonna make the extra pass, and that's gonna be out of bounds. And stolen by Ben Wallace. Here's Stevens. And Strickland makes it. Here comes Jamie Watson to Rodman. Here's Patterson with a perfect three-pointer. It's now 82-78. Here's Richmond. He makes it. It's going to be a 2-point game. And bad pass. And out of bounds. Going to be Wizards ball. There's Murray for three. And James with the rebound. He has now 7 rebounds. Here's Stevens for three. And he misses again. Here's Murray. And Patterson with the rebound. Here's Joe Stevens. He's going to try to go in all the way. And he misses. Otis Thorpe is able to get that in there. And here's Rodman. And he misses. And looks like, oh boy. Looks like I'm going to have to bring in Shammond Williams. Here is, Stevens from downtown. And now the Sonics have now taken a 1-point lead. Here's Richmond for three. Rebound, Jamie Watson. Now here's Rodman. Here's Patterson for three. Misses. And out of bounds, Sonics basketball. And looks like we're going to have some changes. We're going to get our starters back in there. Now here's Williams. There's Jelani McCoy. And Sonics still get the ball back. Only 4 minutes left in this game. There's Williams for three. And misses completely brick. Now there's Strickland to Tracy Murray. Strickland is being heavily guarded. Now here's Richmond with the shot. He makes it. It's now going to be 86-85. Now here's Jelani McCoy. And he loses the ball. Oh boy. He makes it himself. Now here's McCoy. And he is fouled. Sonics are now falling. And free throw has been made by McCoy. Gonna try it again. And misses. Jelani McCoy with 11 points. Now here's Tracy Murray. Here's Otis Thorpe with the rebound. He's able to finish it in there. Now here comes Williams. Goes for 3. He misses again. Here's Strickland. And somehow Jerome James is not able to get that block. Now here is McCoy. And he gets it in there. Maybe get Jelani McCoy some more touches. All right, now I'm going to play Alton Lister. I got to... And now here is Williams, a nice steal. And he gets the dunk. He is 1 for 7 from downtown. There's Otis Thorpe. Now here's Strickland. Goes for the basket. And he gets the rebound. And now here is Rashard Lewis with the lay-in. Lewis now has 7 points. He does have a block. And the game is tied. Don't foul. Here's Jawan Howard. And now here's Strickland. Now here's Richmond for 3. McCoy with the rebound. Now here's Alton Lister. And he loses it. And I think they're going to get Jerome James back in there. It's Stevens back. Lewis for 3. And he misses it. Now here's Rod Strickland. And he is fouled. And that's going to be foul number 5. Timeout called by Washington. Now what are they going to do? Here's Rod Strickland. He is blocked. Here's Strickland again. And now he is fouled out. Oh, boy. Strickland makes it. And misses the free throw. They still have time to make a comeback. A nice pass to Patterson. He gets the dunk. Jerome James has 12 points himself and 8 rebounds. And the Sonics are now just down by 1. Maybe Watson could be the guy to be the hero. And now it's going to be fouled. And he will go to the line. It's going to be Strickland. He makes it. He makes it again. Now here's Watson. Here's Patterson for 3. Ties the game. Unbelievable. And now it's 97 all. Now they're going with the double team. And Strickland is still guarding. He tries to go in all the way. He misses, and the Sonics can win this game. And here comes Ruben Patterson. He makes some moves, and he's going to try going for the layup. He misses. Oh, no, my goodness. And they're going to go, and this is going to go to overtime. Oh, man, I really wanted to end this game so I can go to sleep. Just no. Not good. It's 97 all. I'm going to put in Resprit. I'll keep Rodman in there. And the Sonics get the ball back. No Shammond Williams because he fouled out. Here's Stevens for 3 and misses. I think I'm going to put in Rashard Lewis. And blocked by Rodman. Here comes Jerome James. Nice passing sequence. Blocked by Howard. And anyone has yet to score. Here's Strickland. And blocked by Jerome James. That's his second block of the game. Rashard Lewis will be checking in. Sean Respert will also be playing. I think they're going to give Jerome James some rest. Actually, no, he says he's going to keep playing. And here's Howard. And here's Thorpe. Blocked by James again. Jerome James has just been in a different world. Here's Rod Strickland. He's just going to heave up a shot. And he makes it. Oh, my goodness. Here's Watson. Here's Resprit for 3. And Resprit ties the game at 100 all. He has now 17 points. Now here's Strickland. Goes for the weird jumper. And he makes it himself. And here's Watson. Here's Jerome James. He's able to make it. James has now 14 points. He has been in double figures for quite some time. Now 102 to 102. Here's Strickland. And Rodman with the rebound. And here comes Sean Resprit. Crosses it over to Lewis. To Jerome James. And he is fouled. There's screen by Rodman. He should be wide open. No! And he's going to lose it. And then an easy shot by Mitch Richmond. It's getting close to that time. Here's Resprit for 3. No, he misses it. Ben Wallace with now 15 rebounds. Here's Strickland. In and out. And here's Thorpe. Misses the dunk and now fouled. But it was worth it because Ben Wallace is a free throw shooting. And he doesn't do good at it. He misses it. They're going to bring a few of their starters back in. Resprit's still in. Now here is the free throw. Misses again. Nearly lost the ball. McCoy has been playing very well today. Now here's Stevens. He makes it. Stevens now has 18 points, while Resprit has 17 himself. And here's a jumper. And McCoy with his 9th rebound. And here comes Watson. He'll take it in all the... No! He misses again. Now here is Howard. Now here's Richmond for 3. How did that happen? Now here it is. Here's Stevens to tie the game. He does. Joe Stevens now has 21 points. Been having a really good scoring game. Here's Mitch Richmond. Here's Strickland. And he misses. And the Sonics can take advantage of this one. And I think he's going to go in all the way. He's fouled. And he will go to the line. And he makes the free throw. Patterson will come in. And now it's all their starters. And timeout's been called. Now here's Strickland. Here's Wallace. Going to be heavily guarding. Now here's Howard. And he ties the game. This is now the opportunity to win the game. And now here is McCoy. Gets it to Jerome James. No, he loses it. Are they going to call a timeout here? Going for the heave again. In and out. And we go to a second overtime. Man, this game just doesn't want me to sleep, doesn't it? I'm going to put in Resprit, Alton Lister. And now here's Watson. And there is Jelani McCoy being guarded by Ben Wallace, and he barely gets it out. Otis Thorpe with 11 rebounds. And fouled by Resprit. Now here's Mitch Richmond. He makes the jumper. Now here is Watson. Oh my goodness. And the Wizards get the ball back on the steal. And the Sonics get it back anyway. And now here's Joe Stevens. He goes the other way for Watson. Nice pass. He went the other direction to get Watson open. Watson, coming off the bench, still has 9 points and 8 assists. Also helps that Shamon Williams was in extreme foul trouble. Now they're being double teamed. Now here's Mitch Richmond. He is fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Resprit with his 3rd foul. And they're going to bring in Ruben Patterson back, as he is a defensive liability. Another free throw's been made. Now here's Watson. And here's Lister. He was open, and now he's going to lose it. But the Sonics get the ball back. And it's Wizards ball. Now here's Rod Strickland. And now it's a foul by Watson. And now it's already the 4th team foul. Now it's 2-point game. Here Strickland was going for a fake shot. Oh my goodness, and they just made that shot. I think they're gonna bring their starters back in. Now here's McCoy going up on Wallace. Here's Stevens for 3. And blocked by Watson. And out of bounds, Sonics basketball. Gonna have some substitutions coming in. Now here's Watson. Patterson to Lewis. And now here's Jerome James with the dunk. James looking really angry. He has now 16 points. He literally flew to the basket. It's now a 1-point game for Seattle. It's been a very exciting game. Now here is Strickland blocked by James. And now here comes Dennis Rodman. Does he have anyone open? And now here's Watson going to try to go all the way. Oh my goodness, what a sequence by the Sonics. A huge block. And that gives the Sonics a 3-point lead and out of bounds, but it's Wizards basketball. It was a huge block. Now here's Rod Strickland. He makes it. Only a 1-point game. Now here's Watson. Now here's Jerome James, and he makes it. James has now 18 points. He's been a consistent 20-point scorer in the last week. Now it's a 3-point game for the Sonics. And the fouled by Watson. Otis Thorpe makes it. And no, Rodman gets the rebound. And now here comes Jamie Watson. And here's Rashard Lewis. And he will go to the line. Lewis. He misses. And he makes it this time. Much of the starters are getting very tired. Now here's Ben Wallace. He ties the ball game. Who would have thought of that? There's Rodman. Sets the screen. He's going to try to make Rodman do it. No. Here's Jerome James. No, he misses it, and timeout's been called. Oh my goodness, what is going on? We'll put back Jelani McCoy. It's a 121 game. Here's Strickland. And don't foul. You cannot foul. Loses the ball. Now here's Jawan Howard. And fouled by Patterson. What are you doing? And now he gets 2 free throws. He makes it. I'm going to do something really weird. I'm going to see if Resprit can make it. He misses, and now timeout's been called. Jerome James gets that rebound. Now, who are they going to get it to? You would think maybe Resprit, but he's very erratic. But I think they're going to get it to Joe Stevens. And he's going to go for the winner. And he gets it. He gets the game winner in there. And the Sonics have won the game by 1 point with a Joe Stevens amazing post. And they narrowly escape. What an amazing victory by the Sonics. And that will do it. Woo! That was too close. Joe Stevens gets player of the game. He also had like 3 blocks. Went for 3-pointers. He was absolutely amazing today. And there was that buzzer beater. Joe Stevens had 28 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. Jerome James with a double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Jelani McCoy, 13 points and 10 rebounds. Absolutely insane performances by the Sonics. Ruben Patterson had 13 points. Watson was 11 and 8. Shamon Williams absolutely struggled. He was 4 of 10 with 1 for 7 from downtown. Rodman contributed from off the bench. But Mitch Richmond and Rod Strickland were the main killers. But luckily, the Sonics got away with it. And I am taking off. I gotta get some sleep. Everyone have a good night, and I shall be back. I think I'm projected to come back tomorrow for another Sonics game. Have a good night.